Hi, I'm Pastor Dave, teacher evangelist with Lamb and Lion Ministries. And just as it happened in the days of Noah, so it will be also in the days of the Son of Man. It will be just the same on the day that the Son of Man is revealed. Luke chapter 17. Genesis 6 adds to the days of Noah, saying, "Now the earth was corrupt in the sight of God, and the earth was filled with violence." Not only will the last days be like the days of Noah, where people had little concern for their spiritual condition, but people were corrupt and violent as well. As the current baseball season came to a close, I watched this prophecy be fulfilled on national television. When did sports celebrations, national disasters, or tragedies become a signal for street violence and public theft? This past week, people in Los Angeles celebrated as their Dodgers won the World Series. World Series celebrations often flow out of the stadium and onto the streets. That can be somewhat expected, but how far is too far? According to the LAPD, looting broke out on the streets of Los Angeles on the night the Dodgers beat the New York Yankees to win the 2024 World Series. Even the media as far away as England reported on the chaos and violence which filled the streets of Los Angeles. The LAPD said they had received reports of looting at several stores in the area of 8th and Broadway, and people were urged to just stay away from that area. The LAPD shared footage of a mob of looters running in and out of a boarded up Nike store, carrying merchandise and throwing it into cars parked outside the store, which was about 4 miles from Dodger Stadiums. This took place just after 11 p.m. The LAPD said a hostile crowd, estimated between 200 and 300 people, were involved. Around 12:35 a.m., this crowd lit an MTA bus on fire just about a mile from Dodger Stadium. Police said the crowd, many of them wearing Dodger jerseys, surrounded graffiti-laced buses. And then it was revealed that many of the rioters didn't even care about baseball. It's not just overzealous sport fans. This goes much deeper. For example, after the recent Hurricane Helene in September and Hurricane Milton in October, looters vandalized and stole from empty private residences. Florida deputies arrested 45 people for a variety of crimes, including armed robbery, vandalism, and trespassing, while nearly 200 others were told to leave when no probable cause for arrest was found. It seems people are expecting this type of behavior, almost as if it's becoming an acceptable aspect of our society. For example, according to a recent poll released by ABC News, American voters are deeply concerned about the coming presidential election and what could happen after, including the potential for violence. This poll said 4 in 10 voters say they are extremely or very concerned about violent attempts to overturn the results of the election. This concern is not just on the national level. This survey also said 1 out of 3 voters say they are extremely or very concerned about attempts by local or state elections becoming violent. Donald Trump has become the most hated candidate that the left has seen. The hatred now is spread over into the public, as it seems no matter who wins this election, half the country is not going to want to be governed by whoever wins. America is a deeply divided nation, and the American evangelical church is a divided church. Each party has supporters on both sides of the pew. And the word tolerance is not a word used on the street or, I guess, in the church sanctuary. Lee Smith, the author of the recently released book, Disappearing the President, Trump, Truth Social, and the Fight for the Republic. Well, he said, we are on the verge of a very troubling scenario. Post-election scenarios forecast widespread rioting, something the new elected president would be compelled to invoke the Insurrection Act. If some military officials refuse to follow, if it's Trump, his orders, the U.S. armed forces would be split, leaving America on the edge of the abyss, end quote. Sporting events, natural disasters, elections, even holidays now have all become open doors for violence and debauchery. Last week on Halloween, Texas police released this news. Texas authorities are looking for a possible suspect who was wearing a Michael Myers mask near the scene of a fatal shooting in Harris County, Texas. The deadly shooting occurred on Halloween around 11:15 p.m., and neighbors have told authorities before the shooting, a suspicious man in a Michael Myers mask was seen near the scene of the crime. The victim was found unresponsive in his garage with multiple gunshot wounds. The earth was corrupt in the sight of God, and the earth was filled with violence. We're seeing a wave of smash and go crimes in upscale stores in major US cities, where mobs of thieves are making off with expensive goods. These nighttime raids, 18 people just broke into a Nordstrom department store in Los Angeles. The city police chief said they stole thousands of dollars in merchandise. A group of thieves in the San Francisco Bay Area swarmed the Southland Mall in Hayward, using hammers to smash cases before grabbing items and fleeing. The same happened in Walnut Creek, just east of San Francisco, as 80 suspects fled the outdoor mall in at least 10 different vehicles. That robbery came after similar raids in San Francisco's Union Square, where thieves targeted Bloomingdale's, Walgreens, and a cannabis dispensary. California is not the only place dealing with smash and go crimes. 14 robbers barged into a Louis Vuitton store in suburban Chicago and fled with more than 100,000 in handbags and other merchandise. Sadly, thieves may face even fewer consequences. The decriminalization of lower-level offenses in some states has created opportunities for criminals to manipulate the system. Well, this was said by SMRC, the president of SMRC, which is an Ohio-based security consulting firm. For example, Prop 47, a California initiative which passed in 2014, this sought to reduce prison overcrowding by reducing the penalties for some crimes. The measure raised the threshold for felony theft from $500 to $950. Security experts say for this low-level criminal, the benefits now outweigh the risk. Since the threshold for a misdemeanor offense is now $950, this means a person can steal up to that amount and only be charged with a misdemeanor. It's not unusual for a smash and grab to increase around the Christmas holiday season because stores are stocking up for the holidays, which means there's a bounty of material to be picked from, which means there's more opportunities for these smash and grab robberies. And just as it happened in the days of Noah, so it will be also in the days of the Son of Man. The earth was corrupt in the sight of God, and the earth was filled with violence. More signs of the days that we're living in the end times. We have crowds at sporting events, natural disasters, even holidays now, breaking into people's homes, stores, and doing as they wish. Our world is becoming more and more violent each day. We need to come together as we say, Maranatha, Lord Jesus.